take a look behind the scenes and enter the impossible for the Between Two Minds podcast with our hosts, Judge Mentalist and Bernardo Rodriguez. Can they really tell you what you're thinking?
Good morning again. This is Judge Mentalist coming at you with another live streamed episode of the Between Two Minds Behind the Scenes podcast. We are coming at you in rapid succession. We just got off with Dan Goyette, who's the coordinator, the CEO, the runner of this conference. And now we have another amazing guest with us, Melissa. Good morning.
Good morning.
For anybody who has no idea who you are, Melissa, let's talk about who you are, what you do, what you are presenting on here at the conference.
Sounds good. So again, my name is Melissa Boher Jacobson, and I am a clinical hypnotherapist and a confident life coach. I also specialize in working with people who are neurodivergent. I'm an ADHD coach as well, and I'm also a practitioner of something called integral eye movement technique. So that means that I have a lot of tools in my toolbox that make it very easy for me to help people of all ages and stages and to work with them on a variety of issues. But my main thing is helping people achieve success in their life, no matter who they are. Everybody has a right to happiness and success, and it's accessible to you. And I also I absolutely love working with people who are struggling with ADHD. I do work with a lot of people who are autistic, and I have a lot of success with that. And it's one of my absolute passions is using a combination of coaching and hypnosis to give people the strategies to let go of frustrations that they have in getting where they want to in life, and eliminating those frustrations and installing self-esteem and confidence, and then embedding all that using hypnosis and hypnotherapy so that it becomes automatic for them and they can just have change happen and have life look the way they want it to and achieve the success that they want.
Fantastic. So do you do most of this in person, or where are you based out of?
I am based out of Florida, but I do work with a lot of people all over the world. In fact, right now I have 2 clients that I'm working with in the UK, actually back to back. So they're both in the same time zone, but I'm in a different time zone. And that's working really well. I also work, like currently, just as an example, I have a client, I'm working very successfully with a client who lives in Atlanta. So I can really, thanks to technology,
right. Here we are.
Work with anybody.
We're here in Detroit. You're watching this wherever you are, whenever you're watching it,
Exactly.
Because even though we're live streaming it as we do this, it's going to sit out there. You're going to be able to find this, whenever, wherever. You may find this years after we do it. You mentioned that you do a lot of work with neurodivergent clients. Who is the ideal person that is really going to get some help from you?
I think the ideal person for me, it could be anyone from, for example, this young lady that I mentioned who lives in Atlanta, who's 17 years old and has been suffering from something called non-epileptic seizures that are brought on by stress. And she's just my ideal client because she's beautiful and talented, and she's on the spectrum. And so through our work together, she's been able to manage going to a homecoming dance just this past weekend, deal with the sensory overload of that and have fun anyway. But more importantly, the non-epileptic seizures that she's been suffering from, she's now learned how to stop them herself.
Fantastic.
And so she's my ideal client because now that we've managed, we're giving her the tools to enjoy her life and have fun and not be limited. We've also given her the tools to manage an issue on her own. And now we're talking, I'm really excited because now we're talking about having her come actually for a week or so to Florida to work with me in person, but also she's going to be apprenticing and she's going to be shadowing um, my hairdresser.
Oh, okay.
Because this is something that I love to talk about with my clients. I like to show them how their future is positive and have a bright future, and that there's limitless possibilities for them, and to teach them that there's no problem that they can't solve themselves. And so again, working with another ideal client that pretty much I'm at the end of my work with them, and that's as a clinical hypnotherapist, as a life coach, our goal is to give our clients the ability to go on with their lives changed for the better. And it's not about coming back to us forever and ever. It's about letting them go out on their own and have the coping skills to manage their life. And so this client, another ideal client of mine, is a 42-year-old father of 3 who has ADHD, severe ADHD, who had been self-medicating and coping with his anxiety through alcohol. So now there's no drinking anymore. He has little to no anxiety. He's no longer overwhelmed, and he's added a 4th child to his family, and he's managing it magnificently. They adopted a relative, basically. So that's an ideal client. I want to show people that they can, that their lives change is not only possible, but it's inevitable, and we can change for the better. We change every 72 hours. Our cell structure changes over. Change is part of being a human, and we can change our lives. We can stop feeling frustrated, not having what we want. We don't need to be trapped in these unwanted issues, and that we can change our lives.
And a lot of times, what I've found, and again, full disclosure, most of you know who I am, but who knows where this is getting circulated out to. I just do stage shows. I just do fun stuff. So I'm not changing people's lives the way that Melissa is, but sometimes it's, there's that one thing or 2 things that are just in the way. And when they're in your way, that perspective is that they're just so big and impossible to move. But to team up with somebody like Melissa, gain and learn those tools to change that perspective a little bit and be able to move past or move that impediment out of the way. I mean, that's got to be, as you see somebody go through working with you full cycle, it's got to be, an inckredible feeling to know, to really be able to see that impact that you've had on somebody's life, and then know that, hey, they're probably not going to need to come back. I've given them everything that they need to say, hey,
because
life is good.
Your life is better spent living it rather than, coming to see me every week. So what the work that I do is designed to be relatively rapid, and that depends on the person and it depends on the issue, but it is designed to be rapid. It's designed to be permanent.
Fantastic.
And it's designed to get you living your life and not spending time and money coming to see somebody every week and feeling that frustration that things are moving really slowly or they're not moving at all. That's not what we do. We're change makers.
It's a different model. We've heard all of this talk, and a lot of it, and I don't want to get political here, but a lot of it comes up in political type conversations about how America does not have a healthcare mindset. They have a sick care mindset. So to be able to flip that script, to really instill wellness in a variety of different ways, you're not there to be, for lack of a better term, a vampire and suck somebody dry. Whereas in some industries, keeping people strung along in the situation that they're in is part of the business model. So
but it's also so empowering to understand, and there's a lot of education that goes into what I do, and to educate people about how their anatomy of the brain works and to put it to work for you and to give yourself agency and control over how you perceive the world, and to give you that's also part of what gives people confidence. And I want to say one other thing, if I may,
Please.
about self-esteem. I specialize across the board in giving people back their self-esteem and allowing them to feel confident in everything that they're doing. And that doesn't only change their lives, but it changes the world, because self-esteem is at the root of pretty much every major problem, including war, that we have in this world. And it is estimated that 85% of people worldwide have low self-esteem. So this is part of my mission to be in business to change the world, as I like to say. If we can give people back their self-esteem, it changes everything. And also, a lot of people come to us as hypnotherapists to manage chronic stress. Chronic stress, sleep deprivation, those are also, people don't realize, and I'll take this opportunity to educate people on those two things. Stress, sleep deprivation are correlated and at the root cause of pretty much every major disease known to humanity. Cancer, diabetes, inflammation, chronic pain, heart disease, autoimmune disorders, stress, lack of sleep, mental illness, anxiety, depression. These things cause and imitate these things. So if for no other reason, if you are experiencing chronic stress of any kind, whether it's through your family, your work, your business, your entrepreneurship, it's not worth it. And you can have all the success that you want without chronic stress. You can have all the success that you want without sleep deprivation. And if you're experiencing either of those two things, and they tend to be both, you need to come see somebody. And if you would like to come see me, that's great. But you need to handle that, because especially if you have children, and I do work with a lot of families as well, don't model that for your children. Model love and compassion and stress management and sleep and community and connection. And if you're struggling with that, you can come see me from wherever you are. You can get on a free call with me for 20 minutes from wherever you are, or you can see somebody, one of my many wonderful colleagues. But that's not sustainable. We've got to work. We've got to help people work through that.
Absolutely. So anybody looking for that information, Melissa's contact information, her website and everything are in the description of this. So please reach out to her. She's doing fantastic and great things. You've heard a few examples, some amazing examples just in the few moments that we've been here talking. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for sharing your wisdom here at not only on this podcast, but here with folks at the Michigan Hypnosis Conference.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to seeing your next talk, because you've done one, you've got another one coming. So everybody check out Melissa, check out the Michigan Hypnosis Conference, and we will see you back here on the next one, which will probably be coming up in a bit this afternoon. So thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in.
Thank you.
And
thanks for having me today.
Spread the love, share this around, because you never know who might be in your social media or whatever connections that you have, that maybe this isn't something that you think that you directly need, but somebody connected to you might really be able to change somebody's life, getting them to work with Melissa. So thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you for tuning in to the Between Two Minds Behind the Scenes podcast. Be sure to follow us on social media under Between Two Minds with the number 2 instead of TWO, or under Enter the Impossible. Thank you, and we hope to see you back for the next episode.